Level 1. The driver. The car is a blue Impala parked at an abandoned strip mall in El Swampo. You drive 40 minutes north, drop the keys on the visor, walk away. 10 minutes later, Rico sends 300 through Cash App. That's it. You don't feel like a criminal. You feel like a driver. And that small difference between what you know and what you allow yourself to admit is the first brick in a wall you're building around yourself. Not around the crime. Around yourself. Rico calls again a week later, then the week after. The fifth call isn't about a car, it's about a position. Steady work, 2,000 a week, a real schedule. In Port Gellhorn, where half the guys you grew up with are either locked up or working dead-end jobs for minimum wage, 2,000 a week sounds less like crime and more like opportunity. The only opportunity. You say yes. Level 2. The collector. 6 months later, you have a list. 12 stops across Port Gellhorn and El Swampo. Bars, car washes, a liquor store, a tattoo parlor. Each one pays weekly. You collect envelopes on Tuesday mornings and report to Rico by noon. Most envelopes are right. Most people pay without drama, the same way they pay for electricity. Not out of love, out of understanding. But one Tuesday, the bartender at Gator's Rest hands you a light envelope and won't meet your eyes. You report it. You don't ask what happens next. 3 days later, he's gone. And you file that fact in the same place you filed the question about what was in the duffel bags. In the section you've labeled things I know but don't look at directly. That section is getting bigger every week. Rico calls and says Vice City. There's a coordinator position open in Little Havana. Your own territory, your own crew, real authority. Vice City, the neon and the yachts and Ocean Drive at midnight. You say yes before he finishes the sentence. Level 3. The coordinator. Vice City operates differently than the swamps. Here the corruption doesn't look like corruption. It looks like connections. The right lawyers, the right city officials, the right cops who wave certain cars through certain checkpoints. The system protecting the organization isn't hidden. It's just there, openly, and everyone behaves like that's normal because for them it always has been. You have 6 men under you. Your own encrypted channel. Weekly calls with Carlos, whose voice has the temperature of metal and who has never once said anything that wasn't necessary. Month 3, your best guy Miguel comes to you with a question in his eyes. Not his words, his eyes, about whether there's a way out. And you look at him and realize you don't know the answer for him because you don't know the answer for yourself. You tell him, we'll see. He never asks again. His girlfriend moves to Atlanta alone. Miguel stays. You both understand what we'll see meant. Month 5. A rival crew starts paying off 2 stops in your territory. Carlos says 2 words, handle it. No instructions, no details, because you're deep enough in now to know what handle it means. And you do. And the next morning in the shower, you understand that something left you overnight. The last part of you that was still arguing, but I'm a good person in a bad situation. That part looked at what you did and stopped talking. Carlos calls that evening. There's a meeting, higher level, bigger position. Level 4. The operator. The meeting is on a yacht in Vice City Bay. 4 people. You and 3 others you will never forget. One is a woman, 50s, perfect clothes, the eyes of someone who calculates the value of everything in any room. She says your name once at the beginning, nothing else all night, but you understand she is the most important person there. The second man explains the scope, not just Leonida. Corridors into the Carolinas. Infrastructure running across state lines. They need someone who can coordinate at scale, adapt fast, and resolve problems without creating noise. The woman looks at you across the table and smiles, not warmly, like someone who's found what they were searching for. And you understand this isn't an offer, it's a confirmation. They already decided. They brought you here so you could decide for yourself. You are now running operations across multiple states. 30 people beneath you. Shell companies, clean accounts, city officials whose signatures you never touch directly. The money stops being a number you can visualize and becomes a flow you manage, like a river. You sleep 5 hours a night, sometimes four. The encrypted phone vibrates at 3 a.m., and you already know, before you look, that the decision can't wait until morning. You make the decision. You try to sleep. You lie in the dark and think about Miguel and Gator's rest and Rico's gold chain and a time when $300 felt like it could change everything. It did change everything, just not the way you thought. Level 5. The end of the map. The arrest doesn't come from the direction you expected. It never does. 4 years of patient financial investigation. Threads pulled across jurisdictions, through LLCs, through offshore accounts, through the car washes and hotels and nightclubs on Ocean Drive. One morning in Oceanic Beach, there are people in body armor outside your door. 22 years. Federal. You sit in a cell and think about Port Gellhorn, about the gas station and the sun over the swamps, and $200 and a job that felt like the only option. You think about all the moments you told yourself the next level would be the last one. The first run, the first collection, the coordinator chair in Little Havana, the yacht. Each one felt like a ceiling. Each one turned out to be a floor. And somewhere out there, right now, this Tuesday, there's a 22-year-old with a busted truck and $200 in his pocket. And someone in a too-clean car is already watching him, and the machine already knows his name. Leonida doesn't need Jason. It needs the next Jason. And the next one is already out there, already in the car, already thinking this is the simple decision and the hard one comes later. He'll make the same choice you made. Not because he's bad, because the system doesn't make bad people. It makes ordinary people who make rational decisions, one at a time, level by level, until the sum of those decisions becomes something that no longer has a name in normal language. This is Leonida. This is GTA6. This is Jason. This is you. Before you go, drop a comment. Which level was the real point of no return? The first run, the collection, the yacht. I have my answer. I want yours. And if you made it to the end, subscribe. We go this deep every single week.